I'm sure you've noticed that there's hardly a week goes by without news of yet another scam, bogus email, or sinister scamming technique that we all need to keep an eye out for. But, there's so many such traps these days that I think it's frankly impossible to keep them all in mind every time you check your emails, pick up the phone, or indeed read a text message.
You're absolutely right. And shortly I'll be finding out about a new service that's designed to take a bit of the pressure off and enable you to find out if a text, an email, or even a website might be hiding a sinister secret. First, though, here's a reminder of one of the very first times we heard about the devastating impact of trusting a text message that turned out to be bogus. Back in 2018, we were on the case with what was then a new form of scam, where a fraudster posing as your bank sends a text message to fish for personal information. It was known as smishing, thanks to its use of the text message technology called SMS. And Brian Busby from Nottingham had been on the receiving end.
Read the text message. Somebody was trying to spend £1,976 on Apple goods on my card.
The text message about suspicious transactions appeared on the same chain as other real messages he'd previously received from his bank.
I was so convinced of the text message being genuine because it looked exactly the same as all the rest, which is why I acted in the way that I acted.
Brian called the number in the message, handing over personal details and sharing a one-time passcode with the woman who answered. But it turned out Brian wasn't speaking with his bank at all, but with a fraudster who'd managed to drain £15,000 from his life savings.
I've never felt so low as I did at that moment. And not a lot else I can say, really. It was just, I was absolutely gutted.
The bank rejected his claim to get the money back, stating that he'd been grossly negligent in handing personal details to fraudsters, a decision that was upheld by the Financial Ombudsman.
I had hoped that they might at least meet me halfway or make some offer, but absolutely not. No, nothing. And you can imagine 15,000. It's a big chunk of your life savings gone, isn't it?
Brian firmly believes that because the original smishing text message was so convincing and had landed in the same place as other genuine texts he'd had from his bank, there's no way he should be described as having been grossly negligent. So we wanted to know how easy it would be for fraudsters to mimic your bank using text messages, and enlisted the help of computer scientist Richard Thomas from the University of Birmingham.
So we have one of the team's phones here, and I'm going to impersonate their bank by sending a demo message. That could be, I'm changing the terms and conditions of your account.
Oh yeah. Dear customer, we recently updated the terms and conditions of your current account. Well, this is interesting because it actually appears to be under authentic messages from the bank.
Yes, so we can see there's a standing order on the screen, and then immediately is the smishing attempt by the attacker. This is how they're leveraging a slight vulnerability in the SMS system.
Fiendish. And is there anything customers can do to protect themselves against this kind of thing?
Yes, so first and foremost is our message coming out of the blue. If it has, say, phone numbers in it, don't immediately call the number. If you're ever in doubt about calling your bank, look on the back of your card or go directly onto the bank's website. You'll find the phone numbers there.
But that one had a website in it. I mean, would your advice be never click on the website either?
Correct. I never click on a link that's in a text.
Well, in the years since we've told Brian's story, text messaging has remained one of the most popular ways for scammers to approach victims. But as we're about to see, new advances in technology are now also playing their part in helping us avoid falling for it. I'm joined now by Dr. Roberta Babb, who's a psychologist who has a special interest in scams, and also Alex Somerville from Ask Silver, one of a number of services now offering free scam checks. So, Alex, you've designed something, haven't you, that can help us spot a scam. Tell us about it.
Exactly. We've built Ask Silver, which is a scam checker. It's an AI-powered WhatsApp chatbot that works just like a contact, just like you or I messaging. What you do as a user is send it a screenshot image of anything at all that you're suspicious about. So it could be a text message or an email, anything at all, send it through. And the way it works is just like a fraud expert. So it will analyze the information that you've sent it, and it will do research. So, for example, we've got a database of scams, which is huge now, and we work with the FCA's warning list of unauthorized companies. It will then determine if it is a scam and tell you, or it will tell you what looks suspicious about it.
I think the best way for us to understand this is for you to show us right now how it works.
Sounds great. So this is my phone right now that we're seeing. I've already added Ask Silver as a contact.
In WhatsApp, yep.
In WhatsApp, exactly. And so what I'm doing is I'm selecting
A message you've been sent, have you?
Exactly.
Okay.
So
Yep.
this one here is from the Royal Mail, or someone impersonating the Royal Mail.
So we've got a notice from Royal Mail Parcel, and it immediately says to us, within a second, give me a moment, I'm taking a look at that for you. So already it's causing me to just stop for a bit, and then already a result seconds later. So Ask Silver has found a URL in that message that has been identified by Google as unsafe. Avoid visiting the website.
Exactly. So it's matched the website address in the image isn't that of the Royal Mail, and so it's saying it's an impersonation scam.
So it says, would you like me to report this on your behalf? So Ask Silver will go away and report it.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're going to fill out a form in the National Cybersecurity Centre with your consent to share the information that you've shared with us, and then hopefully the National Cybersecurity Centre can shut down these websites or phone numbers.
I'm interested, Alex, why you set this up, because it's free, isn't it?
Yes, completely free for consumers. A close family member of mine was scammed a few years ago. They lost most of their life savings, almost £150,000, and it was all 3 investment scams over a 4-month period. So we've set this up coming from that personal experience.
Roberta, you've seen how it works. You know a lot about scams. What do you think? I think this is fantastic, because what it is doing is really offering people a way to take ownership of the decisions they make. Scammers rely on the fact that they're going to create a sense of urgency, like we've seen. They also rely on the fact that we often don't have the knowledge needed to make an informed decision, and that as humans we want to avoid adverse consequences. But furthermore, they rely on the fact that we're having to make these decisions in isolation. So this tool, it allows someone to stop, think, take a moment, but also gather information from a trusted source in real time and with real world accurate information. And what this does is offer you an opportunity to critically assess the request that's been made of you. What's next for Ask Silver? Because I also think that you've sort of got to keep moving, haven't you? Got to keep up with the way things change so quickly.
Absolutely, yeah. We want to stay ahead of the criminals as much as possible rather than playing catch up. Next for us is working with the banks and actually helping them protect their customers. And we're negotiating with some of the biggest banks in the UK to kind of be part of the payment process and flow, so that we can protect customers there when they're making the payment.
Well, thanks both very much for talking to us about this. And we will put a link to Ask Silver on our website, bbc.co.uk/ripoffbritain. Thanks both.
Thank you.